Game on between Christy Caulfield and his opponent, Gary Clarke, over there in the other corner. Christy's going to come up dry on that break. In truth, it's one he didn't quite get all of. Loads of power, but this cue ball was very nearly tracking into that top corner pocket. He knew that straight away. And then he's just hoping for a bit of a Brucey bonus. Didn't pick one up.
Broke cleared both of his breaks in his opening match. Obviously can't do that here, but I think you're right. I don't think he hit that quite as well. Still split well though. These are
yeah, splitting
really
hairs,
nicely,
aren't we? But I mean, that's pretty much what we're here to do, and certainly what Christy would have felt.
And Gary's coming into this match on the back of 4 straight finishes. 2 counter clearances, a break clearance and a reverse clearance. He's only had 4 visits to the table. Yeah, I quite like the plant here. You know, get that one out of the way. See the one just to the right of the triangle area, probably slightly the trickiest, but it's not too bad either. That's perfect though. He's got the gap, he's played the gap and he's landed nice. He's got the gap that tracks to right centre. So the only one that was half tricky, he can get straight on. No, he's decided not to go that way, but still lands on that same ball. The reason he stood up to just sort of check himself is he just wanted to make sure he was leaving a good angle, and could make the case if he could have seen that one to bottom left actually, that drop that in and leave yourself straight in on the one to right centre would have been a nice way to go as well. But many different ways to go about that sort of layout there.
Yeah, he's gone about these beautifully, as our Gary, and well, 5 on the spin. He is flying. So 5 straight. Looking for 6. And that might just slow the Gary Clarke train.
Really good leave here for Christy just to return the favour. Very similar kind of level of layout. Make a case both ways, but the 8 ball would be the trickiest one if he goes reds. Yellows look okay, apart from that one he had the perfect angle to bump straight away.
Yeah, now goes big favourite to win the frame with that first shot.
If the 8 ball had have gone bottom right, which I think it probably does, well, maybe not looking back at the main camera, I think maybe reds were probably marginally easier. But it's how you see it when you're out there, and there wasn't much to choose between the two. And that first shot has opened everything up on the yellows. Still needs to be careful around the 8 ball though. Interesting decisions to make here. Could go down the left-hand side and get rid of the one at the bottom of the table, but then he's got to get back up onto these 2, or he could try and deal with these 2 on the right, above the 8 ball. Don't think either of those yellows go left centre, so he might have to go on and off and just pick the gap to get onto the next one to the same pocket. That gap. That's perfect. He's say perfect. He could have done with stopping just short of straight on this yellow.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Has he gone slightly off straight the wrong way?
Yeah, and the red stops him from being able to punch across. I don't think the yellow goes in the same pocket, in the opposite pocket. So yeah, that extra couple of rolls past the straight just meant he was working a little bit. And that working on that one means he's now working onto the 8-ball here as well. And he's not on the 8-ball because of it. Well, not on the 8-ball well.
Yeah, he's got a shot. How do you like him? How's his extension to call? That's a nice one to have in the back pocket on a shot like this. You wouldn't love to be hearing the beeps. Is it a double? No, it is the cut. And he's played it really, really well. Called it at the time. That's a cracking break, by the way. 8 balls in. 8 balls in. Golden break for Christy Caulfield. Well, he's found a pot of gold with that 8 ball.
Does he notice?
You got to say, though, I mean, that is a roaring break from Christy Caulfield. The balls are racing each other up to the top of the table. He absolutely exploded them. If ever there was a break that deserved a golden, that was probably it. Nothing wrong with that break. And he's got a ball as well. But just the point I was saying before, Simon, just gets showing that previous Christy Caulfield visit before the golden touch. The difference between, you know, perfect and problem is so minor. He's played a really good shot who actually hit the gap that he hit. And you're talking, what, a roll and a half of the cue ball is the difference between having a real problem and being plumb.
Yeah, I agree. But
in that instance, at least, I know.
Yeah, well, I think what I think about is in this game and the patterns and the puzzle, it feels that was the sort of layout. It feels like there was a pattern out there that everything could have just been drop-ins. It was just hard to kind of see it in the time available. And we're sort of talking about in those circumstances in terms of not really having to play any sort of shot, that a natural kind of stop shot or roll shot just connects the balls all together and you don't have to do anything.
Well, reds are work here for Gary Clarke.
Yeah, had to go reds though.
You can see where he wants to leave the cue ball for the 8 ball. The question is just how you get there.
Yeah, this looks fine to me. As long as that red goes, you deal with the 2 at the top of the table, and then you've got the one on the left-hand side. You just got to leave a good angle, and ideally, you leave yourself just a fraction low on the red to bottom right, and then there is room just to land on the 8 ball.
Yeah, he already mapped his full pattern out right from the start.
If he could get back to where he is now, I think he'd be, or just short of where he is now, he'd be very happy. Slightly tricky now. He's going to have to play this quite a bit aside to get low on the red. Makes the pot missable. If he lands high on the red, then I think the yellow's in play. I don't think he can avoid hitting it. Straight wouldn't be terrible.
You got to play a real good shot now.
I don't think he can top it. I think he's just too far off straight the wrong way. Well, in fact, he's looking at that angle. Maybe he's confident of getting there. Looks like if he topped it, the pace he'd have to play it with, it's going to throw too wide and hit the yellow. Oh, he didn't play it with pace. He just let the cue ball do its work. Just misses the yellow, and oh, that was a lovely shot. Well judged.
It's tight. You can see Horace Tesco right behind this one. And in it goes. Very, very good from Gary Clarke. All hinged on that connection to the 8 ball. Take that. How's that dry?
Tricky leave this time though. Not as easy a reverse clearance for Gary. I just wonder, does the yellow pass to top left? And then can he play a yellow off a yellow? There's not enough room to get to the potting angle of the one right on the top cushion, and the reds on the top look really awkward.
We're coming down the table first. Obviously feels confident on yellows, but you always say, and I usually listen, you're looking to get your problems out the way early.
Yeah.
I wonder if Gary's trying to play yellow off yellow now.
Possibly. Just looking at it from the overhead, there doesn't look like enough room, but to me it looks like if he landed flat on the cushion, he could just about play the one near the top right-hand corner. We'll find out after this shot. So that one didn't go, which is why he didn't take it originally. Obviously tried to move it there to nudge it on, and not quite.
I just wonder if that goes. Is there a way that you can land on the yellow to top left that will then connect to the one top right? I think if he's flat on the cushion, if he can get himself flat on the cushion, he's fine. But getting there is so tough. He's going to keep on digging. Can he kill this in?
No, I think you could play it with a little bit of side and hit the reds, come off the top cushion, hit the red, but you'd be then covered by the reds. He can't like land touching that top cushion, so he's looking to try and find that tiniest gap where there's next to no room.
Yeah, the gap is small here.
Yeah.
It's a really, really small gap. The space is big.
Looks a little short to me. Obviously he's got at least one more try to land on it. Well, this must be close because he's looking both sides.
Yeah, never a good sign when that's the necessary option, but is he just okay? He's straight down on it. Oh, he's played that well.
Oh, that's brilliant. So well worked out, this finish, isn't it?
He looked sharp tonight, is Gary. He really has.
Second shot clock.
Yeah, super. Oh, we've got a big finish to this match coming up. Winner of this one has a huge, huge advantage. For as fatal as defeat was for the loser of the last match, victory in this one is enormous.
That's the best hit he's had on the break tonight as well.
Things are just coming to the boil, aren't they?
Oh, this is good. A little bit of work on this one. I think there's enough room to pot the red by the 8-ball. The 8-ball obviously doesn't go if he goes yellows, but I don't think yellows are much of an option anyway. It's not an absolute roadmap to victory, but it's a good chance.
And you can just see there the way that Gary leaned back on the break, got a ball immediately, legged it back to his chair to get his playing cue to have a crack at these. When he gets on a bit of a run, he's one of those players who starts to march around the table and gets into a little bit of a flow, and this is when he's really dangerous.
I don't think he's played the best of shots there. It's just a bit more angle here than he wanted, unless he thinks he needs to play a breakout.
He's just in for the time foul. It was okay.
He's played on the one by the 8-ball. It looks okay from the overhead. You're into the final 5, and you could tell Gary wanted to go for a wonder again. You can't. Touch short again. Probably wanted to be in a position where he could play on the one on the left-hand cushion. Obviously he can, but he can't get good on it, and it's hampered queuing as well.
Speaking of hampered queuing, how do you like these?
The difference of an
that
extra
was so
2
missable.
rolls. Yeah. 2 more rolls on the previous shot, and he's perfect because he just play a little bump into the yellow.
And 2 more seconds on the shot just to set himself.
Yeah. First time tonight though, he's not cleared up, and he's had a chance at the table.
And put that one down to the 15-second shot clock. You know, it's technically an unforced error, but there are factors at play there for sure.
Probably would have felt like not quite match ball to him because he still had to make the one on the cushion, but it would have almost felt like it for him.
Christy's building himself up for a big shot here. Both need to go. And they do. How well has he played that?
Gives you the confidence, doesn't he? The way he's kind of going around the table, and it was not a thought in his mind that he wasn't going to make that shot. Keep an eye on the match clock.
Yeah, this is going to go tight.
Yeah, could do with leaving, what, 120? It's enough time for a... Oh, no.
Well, has he got away with one?
He may have got away with this, but what can Gary do? There's a loss of turn available, but he'd be leaving a shot on. I think you can sneak the red in front of the yellow, and that kills some time on the clock.
Just plays a straight loss of turn. Wanted to get the cue ball on the right side of the table because the yellow can't go top left. But Christy's got an all or nothing shot here on the yellow. And he's played it really well. Again, the 15-second shot clock just killing Gary Clarke a little bit there. Not too much more he could do. Christy Caulfield leaves 54 seconds on the match clock. It's 3-all. Oh, a dry break kills him. Gary Clarke has 45 seconds to find a clearance.
Make sure of the first shot or two. Just, it's one of those situations, if you get the first two shots right, you can't lose the match, and then you're chasing the win, or it's a draw, but it's about as poor as the first shot could have gone.
Oh, he's got half a sniff now, but it is only half.
Don't think he's got a pot on.
Yeah, that half is diminishing. This is going to be some shot. Oh, it's some shot. What a pot that is. But he's run out of time a little bit here. 13 seconds left for 5 balls. It's not quite going to be enough, and especially not now. Needs to be careful, just don't foul. Oh, he wouldn't have been far away.
Wow.
He would not have been far away, and Gary Clarke and Kristi Caulfield share an embrace. Well, we have now got 2 massive matches coming up. It's all square at the top of the group with 2 to play.